My name is Emily Sue, and today I will be presenting Autumn Rhythm, number 30 by Jackson Pollock. You may be wondering why this piece has two names. Well, in fact, Jackson Pollock first named it number 30, which is his way of making sure not to influence the interpretation of the painting for the viewer, but later chose to name it Autumn Rhythm, due to it being painted in October of 1950, and also his wanting for the painting to represent nature's constant change. Now it is displayed in the Metropolitan Museum of Arts and titled Autumn Rhythm No. 30 as a compromise for both names. This enormous painting had dimensions of 266.7 centimeters by 528 centimeters, which converted to feet is 8 feet tall and 17 feet wide. The vast painting, inspired by Mexican muralists, was created to encapture viewers in the moment, leaving room for no distractions for both Pollock while he was painting it and also for the viewers admiring it. The swift and rhythmic lines and streaks consisting of black, white, beige, and teal paint may look random and arbitrary to some. However, Pollock assures that, quote, "I can control the flow of paint. There is no accident," end quote. Autumn Rhythm is much more than just splatters of paint, but rather a painting to portray the flow and continuity of one life, nature, and one's conscience, a feeling portrayed by Pollock when he mindlessly drips the paint on his canvas, knowing that he is not trying to live up to any standards or traditions of what art must look like. The artist first starts off by adding strokes of thin black lines, then continues with beige and white lines and splatters to create composition. Pollock leaves the edges of the painting bare to complete the piece with a feeling of balance and stability, as no matter how chaotic and disorderly the center of the painting looks, the edges are kept blank and peaceful. The style of Autumn Rhythm is abstract expressionism. Abstract expressionism rejected the European traditional painting ideas, focusing on the art itself and the artist being able to express their feelings through their work. Abstract paintings do not have to be of humans, animals, or any existing object, but rather an emotion portrayed through shapes and colors. Expressionism is a style where artists are more focused on being able to tell their feelings through their art rather than making it look realistic and aesthetic. This makes sense, as abstract expressionism emerged after the end of World War II, allowing artists to portray their feelings and angst, anxiety, and unease through their work. Pollock used drip painting to achieve the thin lines running through Autumn Rhythm, which he named action painting. Jackson Pollock, who was taught about abstraction by his teacher Thomas Hart Benton and worked alongside Mexican muralist David Alfaro Sequeiro, was also influenced by the philosophies of surrealists to create the piece Autumn Rhythm. After going through a period where his depression and alcoholism took over, Pollock was able to explore the aspects of unconscious imagery told by surrealism, along with Benton's composition techniques, and was finally able to create a style of his own. Autumn Rhythm was published in 1950, only 5 years after the atomic bomb hits Japan and ends World War II in 1945. The ending of war communicated to artists that they needed a new language, a much deeper form of art to express their emotions and state of being after long periods of depression and war. Rather than painting with naturalism like the Renaissance period, artists, including Jackson Pollock, started questioning human existence and how easily it can be extinguished, something he wanted to express through art. Jackson Pollock used enamel paint, also used to paint the outside of houses to complete his piece, which was the easiest and cheapest paint to find at the time. He also used all sorts of tools, including dried-up paintbrushes, sticks, trowels, knives, and syringes, anything but the traditional painting tools, portraying just how in touch with the real world Jackson Pollock wanted his painting to be. Pollock did not prime or seal his canvas. Painting directly on the canvas allowed the paint to seep in and become one with the canvas, rather than just sitting on top of its base, creating all kinds of different textures, cracked, dry, and glossy. For centuries, artists not only primed their canvases, but also made sure to create in-depth sketches of their drawings before they even laid any paint on the canvas. There was intentionality and consciousness behind their paintings, which played an important part in determining the value of the art. Jackson Pollock, however, completely turned down the idea, laying his canvas flat on the floor and directly painting from all sides of the canvas in a rhythmic manner. His steps and strokes were comparable to the grace and rhythm of a dance. Instead of just a painting, the canvas became a stage for him to perform on, whilst expressing his raw emotions through art. Jackson Pollock was one of the most influential artists, introducing the world to abstract expressionism. The shift in art style influenced pop art, which came after various artists started rejecting abstract expressionism and instead created a style in which they drew everyday objects and expressed fluid meanings through them. This style led to famous pieces including Andy Warhol's Campbell Soup Cans and Marilyn Diptyque. An interesting yet sad story about Jackson Pollock is one about his death. After falling back into alcoholism, Pollock's wife travels to Europe to reconsider her marriage to him, though she never would have known that would be the last time she ever sees him. Jackson Pollock died on August 11, 1956, at age 44, after getting into an accident while drunk driving, letting alcoholism trap him once again. Thank you, everyone, for listening.